Hello everyone. Welcome to the Blockchain News Club. We have some amazing updates from Davos 2023 Summit. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse has said in a recent interview that the Ripple lawsuit will end before the first half of this year. He also talked about how regulations can have a positive impact on the cryptos as a whole. Before we dive right into it, please subscribe to our Blockchain News Club channel. It will help us immensely. First up, before we go any further, I want to talk about the latest XRP scam that is going around. A copy of the popular cryptocurrency XRP, called XRP Classic XRPC, has caught the attention of investors who may not know that it is probably a huge scam. According to data from CoinMarketCap, XRPC has grown by 442.18% in the last 30 days. But not much is known about the token, which is tied to Binance's BNB chain through a contract. On its website, the project says that its goal is to find ways to make the crypto space safer. The project's plan is broken up into 4 stages, with the last one being the launch of the project's own blockchain. But other parts of the roadmap make me think it's probably a scam. The roadmap says that the goal is to be listed on top exchanges, have a market capitalization of $250 million, and have more than 100,000 holders. In the same way, the project has nothing to do with Ripple's XRP ledger or its XRP token, even though its name sounds like it does. There is also no contract on the XRP ledger blockchain that has a name that sounds like the project's name. Ripple and XRP are being targeted by more scams as the company gets closer to the end of its case with the SEC. The XRP community is waiting for a decision from the judge in charge, Annalisa Torres, sometime in March. This could send the price of XRP to new heights. The CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, has expressed confidence that a verdict would be made on the company's XRP lawsuit in the coming months and has criticized the SEC for being embarrassing. Brad said that the judge could make a ruling in favor of either side, avoiding a trial, or put the matter before a jury. According to Garlinghouse, a decision is expected sometime in the following single-digit months, which could be as early as June. Moreover, he said he has no reason to believe the corporation would provide a settlement but is open to the idea. He said, "We have always indicated that we would love to settle, but only if it's obvious that XRP is not a security going forward." Gary Gensler, head of the Securities and Exchange Commission, has been quite public about his belief that virtually all crypto is in fact a security. As a result, there is barely any overlap in the Venn diagram for compromise. Let's take a look at Brad Garlinghouse's interview.
And in terms of your outlook for 2023, we've seen a bit of a bump for Bitcoin in the crypto markets. Are you expecting that to continue, or is this just a little bit of false hope?
Well, I've tried to stay out of the short-term price prediction on all things Bitcoin, or crypto in general. I'm long-term very bullish because I think these are technologies that can solve real problems at scale. And I think when you have kind of new emerging technologies, not dissimilar than, frankly, the internet and kind of the dot-com bubble, sometimes the hype gets ahead of the reality. That comes into balance over time. But we shouldn't forget, really not that long ago, 21 years, Amazon during the dot-com bubble almost went out of business. So the fact that you're seeing some changes in the crypto world, I think, can be healthy for the long-term health of the industry.
And yet FTX appears to be a very high-profile case of fraud. There are serious regulatory and auditing gaps that went on with that institution. And yet at the same time, what I'm reading is so many people have been critical of SBF for having this close relationship with the regulators, the fact that he visited Gary Gensler so many times. So where do you draw the line? We need to strengthen regulation and oversight in this industry, but how close should the relationship be between your peer group and the U.S. regulators who are looking at these institutions?
Yeah, first of all, I think you're exactly right. We talk about this as a crypto problem, but really this is just fraud. And I think in some ways not that dissimilar than Bernie Madoff. And when Bernie Madoff occurred, we didn't totally restructure how we thought about oversight and regulation of hedge funds. We realized that, hey, clearly in that case also the SEC had overlooked, and if people had reported to the SEC they should be looking into Bernie Madoff. So I know that the SEC had met a bunch of times with SBF. I don't know the specifics of what types of oversight they were applying. I do think this is a fraud. I don't view this as a crypto problem at large. But to your point, I think regulatory clarity globally is important. And we're seeing a lot of countries. I mean, here we are in Davos, and Switzerland's clearly one of the countries leading in providing regulatory clarity in early stage. You have the UAE leaning in, the UK, Japan, Singapore. The U.S. is notably absent from that list. And I think in some ways the regulators in the U.S. have added confusion to the crypto marketplace.
And let's talk about those regulators in the U.S., the SEC, Brad. Let's get a check-in on what's going on with that lawsuit with the SEC and Ripple. Are you nearing an end potentially? Are you planning to settle with the SEC?
Well, we have always said that we would love to settle, but it requires one very, very, very important thing, and that is that on a go-forward basis, it's clear that XRP is not a security. The SEC and Gary Gensler has very outwardly said he views almost all crypto as a security, and so that leaves very little space in a Venn diagram for settlement. The case is now fully briefed in front of the judge, and judges take however long the judges will take. We're optimistic that this will certainly be resolved in 2023 and maybe the first half. So we'll see how it plays out from here. But I feel very good about where we are relative to the law and the facts.
So are you going to wait for the judge to come out with a decision on this one?
I'm very optimistic, and I think absent some significant change in posture from the SEC, I can't imagine that we won't have resolution from the judge. I also will point out, and I've certainly something I've heard here in Davos repeatedly, is how important this is, not just to how Ripple it goes forward, but also really the whole crypto industry in the United States. And I keep reminding people that outside the United States, crypto is still thriving, Ripple is still thriving, and we should make sure we're continuing to engage non-U.S. regulators as well.
I mean, it's also difficult to say it's thriving when so many people have lost a lot of money speculating. And the key word here is speculating on the price of Bitcoin and various other cryptocurrencies. I remember back at the peak, there was a lot of talk about institutions getting involved. Given what we've seen, given the price action, given the drawdowns, given the numerous amounts of fraud cases that have gone on in the space, doesn't it feel like the hurdle is extremely high, if not impossible now, to get institutions involved? If you were sitting on a board of a pension fund, how could you justify to them that you're going to get involved in cryptocurrencies?
Well, I think it depends upon how we're defining institutional involvement. When I think about institutional involvement with Ripple, I'm thinking about financial institutions, banks, payment providers who are using our technologies to solve a cross-border payments problem. They've continued to engage, we've continued to grow, and so I feel good about that. But look, I think anytime you have this kind of change, people take a moment. I also think, and I pointed out in one of the sessions I was in at Davos here yesterday, is we talk about, obviously, crypto is down 65%. Tesla is down 65%. Facebook is down about 65%. No one's saying, hey, we shouldn't invest in Tesla or Facebook, investment areas. And again, to your point, most of crypto has been speculation. If it's just speculation, I don't think that's long-term sustainable. We need to focus on utility and make sure we're solving problems for customers.
The XRP lawsuit has important implications for both Ripple and the broader crypto market. The XRP community is eagerly waiting for the outcome of the lawsuit. With the inflow of millions of dollars, we could sense the lawsuit is about to come to an end, and we can expect a sharp increase in the price of XRP. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for regular updates in the blockchain community.